What's up YouTube, Capital G here, got an absolute masterpiece of a duel for you guys to check out. If you are the type of duelist who likes seeing high level Yu-Gi-Oh, skillful play, and great resource management, this is going to be the duel for you. I don't think that I have ever seen Relinquished play this magnificent. This guy is an expert, and it's one of those duels that really makes you rethink the potential and the ceiling of an archetype. I've usually thought of Relinquished as a go second deck with kaijus, but this kind of it blew my preconceived notions about Relinquished. I don't think I've seen anything quite like this. But before we roll this duel, we got to give a big shout out to our sponsor. This video is brought to you by CuriosityStream, the groundbreaking streaming service that lets you watch award-winning science, technology, history, and nature documentaries. CuriosityStream is available worldwide on demand on multiple devices such as Xbox One, Smart TV, iOS, Android, Apple TV, Chromecast, as well as Amazon Kindle and Fire. Looking to enrich your personal knowledge, or maybe there's a history or science buff in your life? Well, right now is the perfect time, because through January 5th, CuriosityStream as well as all Curiosity gift cards are 40% off. Right now, you can have an entire year for just a low price of $11.99, and there are even 4K options for CuriosityStream, which are 40% off right now too. So check out the link in the description below and head over to CuriosityStream right now. So we've got Relinquished at the bottom. We have Cyber Dragons at the top. Both players have pretty strong opening hands. Cyber Dragons have the go second board breaking Dino Wrestler Pancatrops. You've got Cyber Dragon Core, +1 on summon, Machine Dupe, another +1 to follow it up. But you know, Relinquished does have some +1s as well. You got Tour Guide +1, and then you have Pre-Prep, another +1. So we'll see how this all shakes out. Pre-Prep is going to be the first play, getting the Black Illusion Ritual and the Relinquish. Then he's just going to normal summon the Tour Guide and get himself a Sangan. So when Sangan hits the graveyard via any, you know, whatever effect or a Ritual Summon Link, whatever, it's going to float. He's just going to go ahead and he's going to Ritual Summon the Relinquish that he just surged, and he's going to use the Relink Karibo. Now this is important because this card, when you tribute it, i.e. for a Ritual Summon or something like that, it does let you draw a card, and it's not a hard once per turn. That will come up during this turn. He's actually going to draw another copy of Relink Karibo, and that's the reason it's important, because he'll probably Ritual Summon it again using this very card that he just drew. He's going to go for Link Karibo using his Relinquish, and then he's going to go for the Salamangreat Almirage, and then he'll go into Cloth Heap, which we know this card is ridiculous. It really unlocks fusion monsters. This is also going to trigger his Sangan, so he should be able to get himself a search right about now. He's going to search out the kind of disruptive Millennium Eyes Illusionist. This card's really good because not only can it snatch steal one of your opponent's monsters essentially, but it can put itself back in the hand when you're actually just Ritual Summoning and Fusion Summoning. So it's an excellent card. He's not done yet. He's going to play the original prep, getting back his Relinquish in the graveyard and pulling back his copy of Black Illusion Ritual. This means he can Ritual Summon again using this copy of Relink Karibo and still draw another card. So he's not actually going -1 when Ritual Summoning, which is nice. He's going to go ahead and get a draw, and he ends up drawing a copy of Spellbook of Secrets. This is awesome because he's going to be able to dig 2 cards deeper into his deck after he searches the knowledge and uses it with his copy of Relinquish. And I was like, okay, I wonder where this is going. Here exactly is where it's going. He's going to go Instant Fusion for his copy of Millennium Eyes Restrict, and I was like, okay, it's going to die in the end phase. It's a little bit of a weird play here, but just watch the 200 IQ play. He's going to wait for it to die by the effect of Instant Fusion, and then during the end phase, he's going to summon another copy using his Relinquished Fusion in hand. It's a quick play, so this is a legal play, and guess what? He's going to be able to activate Cloth Heap and summon this card back from the graveyard for free. That is actually pretty damn, that's pretty brilliant. So he ends with a turn with double Millennium Eyes Restrict, and when you look at this board, you're like, Cap, that's not that impressive. Come on, you promised me more than that, but watch the way it's gonna play out, guys. So I believe he's going to start his opening play with Foolish Burial, and he's going to send Cyber Dragon Hurts to the graveyard. The problem is, when you try to activate effects from the graveyard against a Millennium Eyes Restrict, all your opponent has to do is suck the card up from the graveyard, and they can essentially just negate that effect. So that's what he's going to do. Hurts is not going to resolve. It's going to be negated. So that's already one monster effect negation. One negation for this turn. He's then going to summon Pancatrops, and he's going to try to activate Cyber Dragon Core on the field. Problem is, his opponent's like, no, I'm not going to let you activate any search effects. I'm going to throw my Millennium Eyes Illusionist at your core, and I'm going to suck that card up as well. That'll give me 2 negations. So, okay, so far we're already at 2 negations. He then is going to activate the effect of Cyber Dragon Nashter by pitching the Donruss or Pankatrops. You can't use 2 Pankatrops in a turn, so you might as well discard it. But he's going to say, oh, you're going to activate this effect? All right, well, I'll suck up your Pankatrops on field, which means he's then going to try to activate the Donruss or Pankatrops. But watch this. He's going to wisely activate Owl Mirage to protect the card, meaning it will not be destroyed when it tries to resolve. Now, this is where it really got brilliant. He's going to activate his copy of Relinquished Fusion as Chainlink 5, but he's not done yet. He wants to have one of these guys in the graveyards because these guys activating their effects are not hard once per turn. So if you keep resetting this card over and over and over again, you can essentially just have a ton of negations and your opponent will probably run out of effects to kind of throw at you. And what he's going to do as Chainlink 6, which is crazy, is he's going to activate the Link Karibo from the graveyard. He's going to pay the cost of Millennium Eyes Restrict, and he's going to end up summoning the Millennium Eyes Restrict he just sent to the graveyard a little later in the turn after his next Millennium Eyes Restrict ends up hitting the field. It's a lot to kind of understand, but just follow with me. He then is going to summon it, and this will not only trigger the Claw Feat, but that Millennium Eyes Illusionist that he used earlier in the turn, this card will add itself right back to his hand. This is just brilliant. So he's basically going to be able to get his Millennium Eyes Illusionist back to his hand, and then Claw Feat will summon the Eyes Restrict back to the field. This means, by the way, both of these cards, their negation effects, their suck-up effects, they're both online. So basically, he got 2 more negations just for free, essentially. He's going to add the Millennium Eyes Restrict back to his hand, or the Millennium Eyes Illusionist, excuse me. Now, when his opponent says, you know what, Cap, I'm not going to activate no more monster effects because it's not working. I'm just going to go on the battle phase. Now he needs to protect his monsters, his fusions, because if you just attack into them, they're kind of susceptible to battle. But luckily, he has these copies of Relinquished Karibo in the graveyard. Now, these guys are very similar to Salaman Great Balinks, in which they can protect one of your fusion monsters or your Relinquish. And unlike Balinks, they're not hard once per turn. So basically, he can stop 3 attacks. He's going to go for Cyber Dragon Infinity and try to suck up a monster. But this is where this card not being a hard once per turn actually matters. When he tries to activate the Infinity effect, he says, no, I'm going to suck up your monster. Infinity tries to negate it, but then he uses the other copy that he just Monster Reborn off of Claw Feat, and he says, no, I'm just going to suck that up as well. So essentially, I think that was like 5 monster effect negations attempted in one turn. And then not only is he going to end with all 3 copies on his field, he still has the Millennium Eyes Illusionist in his hand for next turn. In addition to that, and this is just insane, Relinquished Fusion can be used from the graveyard to snatch steal your opponent's monsters. Like, I've never seen anything like this. I mean, essentially, he could have taken about 7 monsters in one turn. I don't know if your opponent can summon that many monsters. He's then going to go ahead, he's going to link summon into them Endymion Link Monster, and he used his copy of Millennium Eyes Restrict. You might be like, Cap, why would he do that? The reason he's doing that is because he's going to summon it back from the graveyard for free, because at this point, why not? He needs to find a little more damage. That's the one problem with Relinquish when you don't run like Kaijus. It's not really known as a high damage deck because the monsters all have like 0 attack and they're not very beefy. But his opponent ends up scooping it up. He's like, Cat, I don't have any more resources left, man. This guy has 4 monsters on field, 2 cards in hand. I got nothing. I threw my best shot at him and he just rejected it in the most impressive way. I saw this and I was just like, my goodness, man. What Claw Feat does for a lot of these archetypes, guys, that can fusion summon, it really takes them to the next level. I mean, we saw him summon Millennium Eyes Restrict about 5 times in the span of 2 turns, which was pretty damn insane. And each time he summons that card, he essentially gets a new monster effect negation on field, and he can potentially juggle his Millennium Eyes Illusionist in his hand, which is kind of another monster effect negation in itself, let alone the fact that this card can also just snatch steal monsters from the graveyard. It was damn impressive. And you know, Konami, when you give us Relinquished Anima in the TCG, I believe in March, you gotta reprint this card, because I really want to play this deck, but I ain't trying to spend that much money. Anyways, let's go ahead and pause for one quick second. Let's check out this deck profile. Okay, so this is what the deck looks like on paper. We won't spend too much time on this. You know what? I don't run Sangan Tour Guide in my Relinquished build, but I think I might start. Not only can Sangan obviously be great with Tour Guide from the Underworld, but it's not a bad card for you just a normal summon and then go into something like the Salamangreat Almirage. He is running the Spellbook engine in the deck, which we saw in action. The Blue Boy obviously has always been a very good normal summon, and anytime you're playing a deck with a bunch of spellcasters, I feel like this is an option. Also interesting to see Jester Confit in this deck. I think it's just mainly in there because it's always essentially a level 1 monster that you can special summon with pretty much no strings attached. This makes it basically like perfect for going into something like Linkuriboh. You can use it to summon your Relinquished with like, because it's level 1, then it's just another good effect monster for you to banish from the graveyard with Relinquished Fusion. And you can also kind of just use it as link material for things like Clawheap or Predaplant Anaconda, etc., etc. I do like how he's using so many of the new Link monsters, whether it be the Predaplant Anaconda. He's also using the Endymion Link, and then Clawheap, which comes out in Eternity Code. This card's going to be absolutely nuts. So I'm not gonna lie, I really like this build. I would maybe like to see some impermanences in there, but I'm not exactly sure where he would find the room to put those in, just as kind of like a one defensive trap. But I definitely do like this build.